Let's talk about the addition of fractions. Here we have 1/6 plus 3/4. To add fractions together, the denominators must be made the same. So we will ignore the numerators for now and focus on the denominators. Let's find the smallest number that can be the common denominator. Let's find the least common denominator. First, we will break the denominators down into prime numbers. This is called prime factorization. So notice 6 is equal to 3 times 2. 3 and 2 cannot be divided further, so 3 and 2 are prime numbers. Here, 4 is equal to 2 times 2. 2 is a prime number because it cannot be divided further. So we have broken down both denominators into their prime numbers. Both denominators have undergone prime factorization. Notice which factors the denominators share. Here, they both share the prime number 2. Because they both share the prime number 2, we can ignore the shared factors and focus on the unshared factors. To create the least common denominator, we must multiply any unshared factors with the other denominator. So here, we've taken the unshared factor from one denominator and multiply that by the other denominator. So here we've taken an unshared factor from 4, multiply that times the other denominator. To create the least common denominator, we must multiply any unshared factors with the other denominator. Since anything over itself is equal to 1, we can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the unshared factors to keep the fraction equivalent. So here we have 2 over 2 times 1/6. Remember, the 2 was an unshared factor from the 4. 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So 2 over 2 times 1/6 is equal to 2/12. 2/12 is the equivalent fraction of 1/6. So remember, anything over itself is equal to 1. We can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the unshared factors to keep the fraction equivalent. So here we're multiplying 3/4 times 3 over 3. 3 over 3 is equal to 1, so when we multiply 3/4 times 3 over 3, we end up with 9/12. And 9/12 is the equivalent fraction of 3/4. So now we've taken our original fractions and created equivalent fractions, and these equivalent fractions have common denominators. So here are the original fractions we wanted to add together, 1/6 plus 3/4. And here are the equivalent fractions with the least common denominator, 2/12 plus 9/12. Now we can add the fractions. 2 over 12 plus 9 over 12 is equal to 11 over 12. 2/12 plus 9/12 is equal to 11/12. The numerators of fractions can only be added together when the denominators are the same. So 2 plus 9 is equal to 11, and notice my denominators are all the same. Notice that 12 is equal to 3 times 2 times 2. And notice 11 cannot be divided by 3 or 2. Because the numerator cannot be divided by any factor in the denominator, the resulting fraction is fully reduced. 1/6 plus 3/4 is equal to 11/12. Adding fractions together is one of the most difficult operations in mathematics. But learning the logical process of mathematics will reveal to you the logical process in the world around us.